Hey guys, welcome into this segment from our full-length The Onside Kick podcast. In order to get the full podcast, go down to the description, go to Blog Talk Radio / The Onside Kick to download the full thing. Enjoy, everybody. And Mark, now we're going to end the podcast with we started from the bottom, now we are here. The Pittsburgh Steelers won the division last year, and kind of the new arrivals that they have coming in are Knile Davis is going to be a big one, running back from KC. They bring in Justin Hunter, the wide receiver from Buffalo, and then Cody Sensabaugh. Took me a little bit to say that
was
one.
fun.
Sensabaugh,
Yeah.
the cornerback from the Giants. Big losses. Jarvis Jones, he is now in Arizona. Lawrence Timmons, he's now in Miami. And then Marcus Wheaton. Where's Marcus Wheaton playing right now, Mark?
Marcus Wheaton, that's my boy.
Where's he playing?
That's my boy. Good old Chicago.
Playing with Da Bears. And then also...
Wait. Future Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears.
Sure, we'll go with that one. But then also, D'Angelo Williams is no longer signed. He's now a pro wrestler. So those are kind of the...
Future WWE.
I don't think he's WWE. I just think
Future
it's a pro
whichever
wrestler.
pro wrestling organization world champion, D'Angelo Williams.
I just know he is going to be a either a pro wrestler or a semi-pro wrestler.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's
But
in some dude's backyard.
this is a team where I think the thing we got to start with this one is we almost had a vastly different preview for this team because for a while we thought that Big Ben might retire.
Yeah.
Like there were serious talk during the offseason that Big Ben might not return for this season.
And it would have been fun to talk about Landry Jones getting the opportunity. Everybody's terrified.
Maybe they would have traded up for Patrick Mahomes.
They
if
might
he
have
retired.
had to trade up for somebody. Yeah, I mean that would have been dangerous right there. Big Ben is such an instrumental part of this team and has been for a long time. Now, some people might want to say that Big Ben is not Big Ben anymore, and he can't take the hits and the abuse like he used to be able to.
Well, that's why he's going to take it year by year.
Yeah, which really, to me, kind of spells
the end.
This might be it. This one last one. I just kind of really want to try and get one more Super Bowl under my belt. Everyone's trying to, pull that Peyton Manning. But this team, the big thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers is they were a favorite for a lot of people to win the Super Bowl.
Until they ran into a better coach team. A team that the coach on the other team that always gets the better of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, pretty much.
The Patriots.
They were a favorite. They had a great run game, great passing attack with Antonio Brown and the Big Ben connection. It was the Triple Bs or whatever, the Killer Bees.
The Killer Bees. Especially when they wore those unis.
Yeah.
With the
ugly as hell uniforms.
The Killer Bees, baby.
So, I mean, not much needs to necessarily change for this team. They just kind of ran out of gas, really, at the end of the playoffs. I mean, when they got into the playoffs, they barely squeaked their way through it and then couldn't get past the Patriots, of course.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing for the Steelers. I don't want to kind of do the crown their ass thing, but I think that the big thing for this team is they are my odds-on favorite. Like I said I want to say it was either the Bengals or the Ravens preview. I think it was the Bengals part is I said that them and the Patriots are my locks right now to win a division in the AFC, where it's like, yep, AFC North, give it to the Steelers. Now, the Ravens, I think, can battle them for it, but right now, Steelers, lock it in. That's what it's going to be in my mind, and it's because they still have Hayward Bay, you still got Rodgers, you still got Martavius Bryant coming back this year, but then you also add Juju Smith, and that to me is going to be...
I'm excited about that.
It's how is he going to fit in? Where are they going to use him? But they're not going to have to lean on him is the case because they have so much talent at the wide receiver core. Then I think, which was the biggest kind of interesting move and the one that I'm most interested for this team is, of course, you have Le'Veon Bell. And Le'Veon Bell's your starter. He's your bell cow. However, it's always nice to have that nice running back complement behind him when he needs to take a break, if he gets injured. And that's why I was very happy that, they bring in Knile Davis, but really they drafted James Conner, the guy out of Pittsburgh, who to me, he has a ton of upside in this league at the running back position. If he can be a nice complement to Le'Veon Bell, kind of in a different style than Bell too, where Bell's kind of like more of the I'm going to use my moves and stuff and not go right up the middle, where Connor can be like, screw it, we're going right up the middle. I can be kind of like your pseudo power back for this team.
Yeah. This team has, I mean, I'm actually kind of excited for, once the cuts start happening because they got a lot of talent on this offense, and especially in the wide receiver position.
There's a few wide receivers that are going to get snipped off the end.
Which are going to be good wide receivers on other teams. So I'm excited to see how that all works out with that battle of who gets to keep their job.
Do you think Sammy Coates gets the cut? Do you think he gets snipped?
He's probably the kind of favorite to get cut, if you want to say that.
Because there was even, I want to say it was at the draft or around draft time, that there was a little Twitter war going on between him and Martavius Bryant, between the two wide receivers.
No, you're going to get cut.
Yeah.
No, you. I mean, it's a lot of talent there. I mean, Antonio Brown gets so much attention and so much love. Same with Le'Veon Bell.
Well, I mean, he's arguably the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Arguably the best twerker in the league. And arguably the number one fantasy option for wide receivers in fantasy football.
Yeah. And then same thing with Le'Veon Bell when you're talking about running backs, of whether it's fantasy being number one option, whether it's being number one running back in the NFL. He doesn't have the twerking ability. No, that's not there.
I am sad, though, that they're easing up the celebration rules.
Because you want to see penalties?
But no, not that. But still no twerking. Still no Antonio Brown, no A-B twerks can I see. Just give me some A-B twerk. That's
not
what
acceptable.
I want to see.
Here's my question for you.
Let the man free the twerk, man.
This guy's going to get a lot of attention, and people will talk about him quite a bit just because of his name.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. Do we expect anything out of him? I mean, he's a first-round pick. He's a good talent. He did well in college, but I think is he overhyped?
You know, it's the only thing I expect out of him. And this is going to be, you're going to say, well, Ricky, you're typecasting him. The only thing I would expect, have the same work ethic as your brother. That's all I expect. Because this defense has pieces already on there, whether it's Bud Dupree, whether it's Ryan Shazier, whether it's James Harrison, who's technically right above TJ Ward on the depth chart.
TJ
Watt. And I just say, have that same work ethic as your brother JJ in Houston, and everything will fall into place. I'm not expecting. I know that people are going to be like, I want to see TJ Watt out there because he's baby Watt, but you don't have to throw him into the fire. You can just kind of use him where he may need in this defense that is pretty much already stacked. Yeah,
I mean, there's really no. He's not going to take anybody's job, obviously, because the starters are pretty set and have been. TJ Watt's that kind of guy that you just expect to, freshen things up, change a pace, and be able to, of course, get to a quarterback or really kind of be getting the, he's the heir apparent, I guess, in a way, to
James Harrison.
Yeah, because it's just going to make sense. James Harrison, I don't know how much longer he's going to have.
Probably this is his last, I think, or could be his last.
I mean, it kind of sounds like it.
We kind of thought that this offseason he wasn't going to come back for the Steelers.
We thought the same thing about Big Ben, so maybe this is the last for both these guys. Maybe they'll go out together with a Super Bowl ring.
James and Ben's last ride. It just doesn't have the same ring as Ray's last ride.
No, it doesn't.
Just doesn't have the same ring.
Not rolling off your tongue.
We'll find something that fits it. But yeah, this team, like I said, this is a team to me that even when I look at their schedule, you jokingly before we started to record was like, oh, it's an easy first 3 games because, of course, they got the Browns and then they got my Vikings and your Bears.
Easy against those Vikings.
But I still think this team can win the division.
Yep.
I think they can win playoff games. My only question with this team, and this is kind of a greater question for the future at whole and not just a 2017 kind of question, and I'm going to propose it to you, Mark.
All right.
Is there eventually going to be a time with this Steeler team to where they say, yep, you know what? We have run our head into the Patriot wall enough. Mike Tomlin's not the guy to beat the Patriots. We need to find someone different.
It's possible, but I think Mike Tomlin gets so much love and respect in Pittsburgh.
See, and that's the thing. That's he gets so much love and respect in Pittsburgh, but when you look at the two coaches to me, Bill Belichick instills a culture. Mike Tomlin, to me, no control over that locker room.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I think he definitely has a culture.
Like there was the whole Facebook Live thing that happened last year.
That was blown out of proportion.
Even Antonio Brown walked by and was like, "Nope, not going to have any part of that."
Yeah.
Not even knowing anything about it. Like even after the fact, not even knowing anything about it.
I think that was a bigger. People were making a bigger deal out of it.
Bill
than it really
Belichick
was.
would have been way over that. That's all I'm saying. He would have been on that.
Sure,
Wouldn't have happened in a Bill Belichick.
Different personalities between Mike Tomlin and Bill Belichick. Now, I don't think that Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's existence is going to result in Mike Tomlin getting fired. But I do think that the unfortunate thing for the Steelers fans, because we're not trying to take away any success because Pittsburgh has had so much success.
Yeah.
But they do, and I can say this about a lot of things, sure, but if Tom Brady just wasn't there, wouldn't Pittsburgh have won so many more?
I wouldn't even say, I wouldn't just say Tom Brady. I would say Bill Belichick, too, because to me...
That's a whole nother debate right there.
The thing I look at is you look at games where, and I know we're getting into a kind of discussion that people would be like, guys, this is for another time, but I want to have it now. You look at games where Tomlin and Belichick go up against each other in the playoffs, and you can tell Belichick just has Tomlin's number every time. Like, think about last year, that defensive breakdown where, what was it, Hogan, who was wide open in the end zone with nobody around him. It's like, come on. How do you have that defensive breakdown? Because there were so many analysts that even broke it down, and every single analyst was like, yeah, there's nothing he could do. It all came down to the coaching. The coach set him up for that. So to me, I look at it and I go, Bill Belichick just has your number each and every time. Do the Steelers eventually go, you know what? We need to make them. It's not going to be popular, but we have to make a move.
They could. I don't expect it. I really don't expect it to happen. How much longer does Tom Brady have? And then there's a question of how much.
Well, he's playing until he's 100.
That's true. So he's got a few more years at least. And not that Ben Roethlisberger is going to have too many more years either, but things are going to kind of get reset. So I think Mike Tomlin has the opportunity to see a new quarterback.
And let me put it this way. The only year that Mike Tomlin and his team went to the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl, pardon me. I'm looking at the year they won it in 2000.
Yeah, let's not talk about that Packers win.
Yeah, 2008, 2009. Guess who they did not play en route to that Super Bowl?
I'd have to imagine it's the New England Patriots.
New England didn't even make the playoffs that year. I want to say that was the Matt Castle year.
So
that
what they need...
09 year was the Matt Castle year.
What they need is for Jimmy Garoppolo to be a bust. And once Tom Brady retires, Pittsburgh, they'll win the Super Bowl because if the Patriots aren't there, apparently they win the Super Bowl.
Well, and that's what it is. And I'm really curious because I'm going to pull up really quick. Wasn't that what Super Bowl was that? That was the 2010. That's right. The 2010 Super Bowl when they went and played the Packers. Let's see who
Which I thought we weren't going to talk about.
Well, I want to bring it up now. I want to see if they played the Patriots in that round. They did not. The Patriots lost to the Jets in the divisional round, and they played the Jets. That was the was it the can't wait season? Was
probably.
it the can't wait?
Should be.
It was one of those. The Jets though beat them 28-21, 6 seed over the 1, and then they lost to Pittsburgh, who then lost to Green Bay.
Why would you bring that up?
In the Super Bowl.
Why would you bring that up?
I don't know.
I don't want to remember that the Packers won a Super Bowl ever.
Who did the Packers beat in the NFC Championship game that year? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't think that happened.
I think there was something about I think the Tour de France was coming through Chicago.
It was
at that
probably
time.
the Lions.
Yeah,
if it was anybody, it was probably the Lions.
The Tour de France was coming through Chicago.
It's probably all Detroit's fault.
But I know we've rambled enough. Any last thoughts on the Steelers before we end the podcast?
I'll say this for Pittsburgh's fans. Enjoy Big Ben's season while it lasts. Really, I mean, he's probably going to retire, right? He's probably gone.
Do you really think this is his last one?
He's already said he's thinking about retirement.
Once the seed's there.
Once you start thinking about it, it's really hard to get up and keep doing this every day.
Well, it kind of brings me back to, we even have a quote from Charles Woodson where he said, I woke up in a snowy Detroit from my hotel room, looked out the window and said, I don't even want to go today. I don't even want to go to the game today.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, from that was like midway through the season. He's like, yeah, that from there on I knew.
He gets
I'm
a
done.
text, snow day, don't have to play today.
He's like, I would not be upset if they canceled the game today.
Yeah.
And that's where he knew that he was done. So I can kind of see what you're saying. Once the seed's in there, it's kind of hard to say, no, I want to keep playing.
Because then you always have something in your mind saying, yeah, but you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but do you have to take so many hits?
Wouldn't it be nice to be on the couch right now?
Yeah, do you have to take so many hits, Big Ben? Do you? And that's going to be, to me, the ultimate decision is health overall, because that's what it is for a lot of these players. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think about the Steelers down below in the comment section. Also, if you're on Blog Talk Radio, don't forget to mention the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns. This is the end of our AFC North preview, and next week we will be back to preview the best division in all of football. That has my Vikings, it has Mark's Bears. That's the NFC North. We will continue that next week for you guys. I want to thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure to hit that follow and that subscribe button on YouTube. And as always, have a good day, everybody. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that segment from the onside kick. If you think the fun stops there, you're wrong, because click the video right over here. What are you thinking? Come on, click it. It's going to go away. It's going to go away. Bye, everybody.